Hey there. Shut that off. Welcome. Drew here. How's that? All right. Hey, welcome back. All right. So I'm heading east on Pico Boulevard because I'm in Santa Monica. How I wound up here is an interesting little story. So I went out tonight, and unlike most nights I've had recently where I just sit around for hours and hours and hours and never get a single trip, or maybe a trip which is only a short little distance, you know, one of those $5 or $7 trips. I did get Anyway, it's been an interesting night so far. And luckily, it's been a busy night, unlike some of my other nights recently. Well, yeah, I'm just sitting around for 5 or 6 hours, or 7 hours even, with nothing. Just doing nothing the entire night. Sitting around downtown. Okay, so I started the night about 2 a.m. in the morning. Let's see, I got my airport day Monday. So I plan to do some driving, like I said, during the early morning, and then into the afternoon if I can. So, if I make it. And that way, I'll get in some driving, get some sleep, and then get an early start for the airport. Because Mondays are generally very busy. And, if it's busy, you want to, just be there early, and you can earn quite a bit if you get some decent trips, because for whatever reason, trips tend to go in two ways. One are, I don't know why, just some days you'll get a lot of local little trips. $20 trips, $30 trips, maybe a couple of trips to Beverly Hills or downtown, maybe. But they all tend to go in the direction of just short trips, so you don't earn too much. And then there's some days where you're mostly going on long trips, Anaheim, or some long distance trip like that earns you $60, $70, $80, not $100, maybe. Let's see. My last one, I got 2 trips that were around $90, 97, 91, yeah. So that was my last airport day, which was good, because I knocked out most of my lease, which is good, because come Monday I should easily just knock it out, and then have some extra for this week, or the week coming up, which is what I want. Yeah, the faster you can knock it off, the better. Although the last couple of weeks have been very, very, very bad. And I owe Arcady, the guy who owns this cab, I owe him quite a bit for the last couple of weeks, which have been extremely poor. Last week I only earned about half of the lease. Now he's going to reduce my lease somewhat. Probably not too much, but he says because of the way things are, he wants to reduce the amount on the lease somewhat. Okay, so we'll see how much he's going to do. Probably not too much, but any amount is better just because of how things are working out these days. All right, so yeah, I started about 2 o'clock in the morning. instead of going downtown, I decided to go west into Hollywood. And I'm just going down Hollywood Boulevard, and I got a flag down, and they just had to go a quick trip, which was $6.50. Not too bad. All right, so I dropped them off and started going west on Sunset Boulevard. And then quickly got another one, and they were going into Beverly Hills. And no, West Hollywood. First they said the address was Beverly Hills, and then right before that they pulled off into these side streets and went up to a friend's house. Hollywood types out partying. $12.50 for that. And then, as I'm sitting there kind of figuring out, okay, where do I go next? I noticed that there's 2 calls waiting in zones that don't have cabs, which is the 120 and the 130. Let's see. Yeah, the 130 is down around here. Westwood, this area. And that was going to LAX. Would have been nice, but there was no way in hell I was going to make it down here from there up way up there. So we'll give you just a view of Pico Boulevard and this part of town. This is just the area southwest of Beverly Hills. So I decided to do the 120, which is just, you had not Westwood. No. Westwood was where the 120 zone is. So I immediately just took a chance, headed west on Sunset. And as soon as I got into Los Angeles from Beverly Hills, the call came in. I had to rush down to this little neighborhood west of the Veterans Administration Hospital, Westwood, and pick up Joy and take her up to North Hollywood. Oops, got my finger right there. Okay, yeah. There you go. The 130 zone right now. I'm in the only cab. Yeah, and there was a trip to LAX here in this area. Yep, so I picked her up, took her up to North Hollywood. So that was a $50 trip. Oh yes, here's Sony Studios right here. That's right. No, is it Sony Studios? I forget. Oh, Fox Studios. Duh. There you go. That's where they produce all the stuff for the Fox network. Cartoons, all the shows, that's where they make them, right there. So that's where I am. Yeah. There's a big hotel right over there. It's called Century Plaza. It used to be a place you could go to late at night and catch an LAX trip in the mornings easily. But it's being renovated right now, so no trips from there. Yeah, but as soon as I dropped her off, and she was she's part of the 2% of customers who don't like classical music. But that's okay. Most of my customers like classical music and thank me for playing it. But she was kind of a trailer trash type. I think she was doing a booty call to this guy over here in Westwood. All right, so from North Hollywood, and I just took the 101 into Hollywood, and as soon as I got in there, beep, 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 beep. I get a trip, and I take it, and it's to a 24-hour restaurant in Hollywood. And when I get there, the doorman or the security guard there said that, no, some other cab came and took them. So it was a couple of girls, apparently, that had called a cab, or maybe had called 2 cabs. And as usual in that case, I didn't get there fast enough. Or it could be the case that they called us and some cab, because there's a lot of cabs in Hollywood. Yeah, that's a very, I don't know, a lot of cabs hang out there at night especially. But during the day, yeah, it's, or at night particularly, it's not a great place to go. Just because, I don't know, there's a lot of cabs there. They're always driving up and down the main drag. So getting trips out there is kind of hit or miss. There's a lot of the partiers, if you can stand the partiers, which is not that great. So, anyway, so I get there. Doorman says they're gone, but then I immediately get approached by 4 guys, 4 Indians, who say they need a ride. And then because the doorman said that the original passengers were gone with another cab, whoever that son of a bitch was. It's called sniping, right? When somebody snipes your passengers. Anyways, so yeah, so I just canceled the trip and then took these 4 guys, and they wanted to go to Ocean. So they gave me the address. I go there, it's the wrong address. And the problem was they were just exhausted because they'd been partying all night. Most of them were just snoozing in the seat. This is okay. I don't mind passengers snoozing. Okay. But as soon as we get there, like, they kind of wake up and say, no, this is the wrong address. So we try to figure out the address, because they give me the Ocean Avenue address, which is in Santa Monica. And if you go down into Venice, then it turns into Pacific, which ultimately did. So we had to drive around quite a bit, and these guys were just trying to figure it out, and they couldn't. Yeah, so. But I dropped them off, and that was a $60 trip. So, not bad. Again, it's unfortunate that you just don't make anything these days. Because, let's see, what's it, 6? Yeah, so for 4 hours, I've made it. Yeah, so I made about $130. Yeah, that's just the nature of taxis these days. Here in a place like LA, that's just crawling with desperate idiots driving Uber and Lyft. Desperate suckers driving Uber and Lyft. Let's get easy. Yeah. Especially with the cost of living, with the freaking housing costs, which are just sky high. I mean, the rental market in this town is really sad. Simply because housing prices are so high, people are forced to go into the rental market, which makes this it's a nightmare. Finding anything affordable is too difficult, as I tried to do earlier when I anyways, that's about it. That's my morning so far. I'm gonna keep driving, and if anything interesting happens, because nothing's happening so far, I'm in zone 166, so I'm gonna head into downtown, do Union Station, and then we'll see. So see you later, and take care. Anything interesting happens, like I said, I'll just add it on.